On August 3rd, 2023, Fortnite competitive legend Bizzle announced his retirement after almost 6 years. He caps off one of the greatest careers anyone has ever seen. A literal roller coaster that saw him hit the lowest lows.
Bizzle seemed to cop a whole bunch of hate.
And the highest highs. Competing with or against the game's greatest players. Tfue, Bugha, Clix, Zate, Mongrel, Benji Fishy, Mr. Savage, Mitro, and literally thousands of others. Completing insane feats of skill and IQ. Like qualifying to the World Cup without guns. If there was a Fortnite Hall of Fame, he'd be on the first ballot.
We in the Hall of Fame, dog.
Here is the story of Bizzle. Timothy Miller, aka Bizzle, started playing Fortnite soon after its release. And was good right away, so started competing. Playing his first tournament in July 2018, the Summer Skirmish. He came second in week 3, and within a week, pro esports organization Ghost had picked him up. And he would team up with his org mate, Demo, for the Summer Skirmish week 5, coming in second. So his career was off to a hot start. And strong performances meant he was invited to play in Fortnite's greatest land.
This crowd keeps growing each night.
Every single night's bigger than the last, Jack.
The Summer Skirmish. And he came to play.
12 HP, only gets a quick little tag there. Top 3 now, Coop Train, Triz, and Ghost Bizzle.
Coming in second, winning $180,000 plus a $25,000 bonus.
Will it be a heel off? No, he gets in his face! Oh my God! Ghost Bizzle! $25,000 richer.
So just a few months into his competitive career, he had already netted a huge amount of money, close to $300,000. But he was still looking for that elusive tournament win.
I really only want to win a championship.
And he would get that opportunity in the Secret Skirmish. He started off the tournament behind. 200 IQ plays, he climbed to the top.
Second there, I thought it was only one player, but it's not.
No, he was sitting all the way up. He had popped the rip, and he was just hanging out above. Tfue trying to knock down the structures. Builds are beginning to fall. Will he catch it? Tfue goes down to Bizzle. Bizzle cleans it up with the puck.
Winning back-to-back games.
He's skating around. Shot comes in. A limb for Bizzle. Turns on the player above. That's it! He deagled the floor! He hand cannoned the floor! Are you kidding me?
And winning by 1 point.
How are you feeling right now?
I don't really know. I didn't think I'd win.
And by the time he arrived at ESL Katowice's solo and duo tournament, many thought he was the best player in the world.
Bizzle in 72 hours and Mongrel.
I think Bizzle's #1 right now.
I would definitely say Bizzle.
And while the story of that tournament was this, Bizzle played great, coming in 4th in solos and 4th in duos with his longtime teammate Demo. Just as he was on top of the world, Fortnite was pushing to new competitive peaks.
This is your road to the Fortnite World Cup.
Qualifying to the World Cup would take place over 10 weeks. 5 weeks for duos, which he played with Demo, and 5 weeks for solos. And he was in it after 1 week of solos.
For one of the EU games, unfortunately, here's Joseph. Does take him out.
Playing consistently and winning matches.
And now we have a Ghost story again. It is a Ghost v Ghost 1v1. I got chills, too spooky for me. Who will close it out as Bizzle maintains circle control? But Enzo gets the better shot, but Bizzle trades it out with the difference being the Storm Tick, 4 HP.
Qualifying on his first try alongside legends like Bugha, Dubs, Commandment, Vivid, and Cease. With his longtime duo, Demo, it did not go so well, while they came close in week 6 but failed to qualify. In solos, instead of stacking up qualifications like other great players, he got creative, challenging himself to qualify without guns, and succeeding, coming in top 100 in the semifinals. And going into the World Cup finals, he and Tfue were the betting favorites in solos. And he had a lot of hype.
One of the most consistent and winningest Fortnite.
Playing well, coming in 23rd. At the World Cup, Fortnite announced Season X, and Season X brought with it the first FNCS, which was Trios. Bizzle reunited with Demo and joined up with Hydra. And while they played well in some qualifying weeks, they failed to make it out of heats. The aftermath of Season X marked a transition in Bizzle's career in 2 major ways. First, it was the last tournament he played with his longtime teammate Demo. They were one of the OG competitive best duos with multiple top 5s at the biggest duo lands in 2018 and 19.
This is why they're some of the best players in the world right here.
The second was the new influx of highly mechanical, dominant younger players on the scene who rose up when Epic Games lowered the tournament entry to 13. On EU, there were players like Aqua, Thomas HD, Mongrel, Mr. Savage, and Benji Fishy.
I'm gonna drop, I'm dropping. Aqua on me! Aqua! Son!
And in NA, there were players like Creo, Commandment, Epic Whale, Dubs, Mega, and Clicks. And the World Cup champion, Booga. But Bizzle wasn't ready to give up the domination over the region.
Just when I thought I was out, they pulled me back in.
Chapter 1 became the Black Hole event, and the Black Hole event became Chapter 2. And Chapter 2, Season 1 brought FNCS squads. Bizzle teamed up with Eclipse, and the Tier 1 World Cup duo, Dubs and Mega, and they dominated. Finishing 3rd, proving he could still be on top of the region, especially with the right teammates. And he again proved he was one of the world's best players at LAN during DreamHack Anaheim. Going into the final game, he was in 1st place, but narrowly came 2nd to Mr. Savage. In April 2020, he made a huge announcement. He had joined the legendary esports organization FaZe Clan. So he got to work. And while he missed Grands in FNCS duos in Chapter 2, he proved he was still a top player in the FNCS Solo Invitational, finishing in 12th place. We're going to skip over Solo FNCS in Season 3 because he did not qual. Let's go straight to Trio FNCS in Season 4, aka Stark Season. He teamed up with Illest and Clicks. They played great leading up to Grand Finals. 4th in Week 1, 5th in Week 2 and 3, and then 2nd in their heat. So the expectations were high going into Grand Finals. Frankly, they're always high when you play with Clicks, Fortnite's most popular pro player.
Big f***ing Clicks, there he is!
They did okay, but nothing exceptional, coming in 14th place. But it would be Season 5 where Bizzle would join up with the fateful trio that would see him reach some of the highest highs since World Cup, but also his lowest lows.
Let's go!
He stayed with Clicks, but they were looking for a 3rd. And after the teammate switch up caused Zate's retirement and subsequent unretirement.
So far, we have the chances of Clicks, Bizzle, Booga playing together. We have Zate, Saf, and Stretch splitting up.
Booga was looking for a team, so he joined up with Bizzle and Clicks.
And it's because we had Clicks, Bizzle, and Booga get announced. And I can tell you 100% with certainty, this is a real team.
They had a Tier 1 POI at Sweaty Sands uncontested in Season 5. And they played great leading up to Grand Finals, winning a qualifying week and then winning their heat. Going into Grand Finals, expectations were through the roof.
Of course, have to talk about Clicks, Bizzle, and Booga out of Sweaty Sands. I mean, they've shown how good they can be.
But they started off slowly and were close to last after 5 games. They rallied back, winning 3 games and finishing 5th. And then they went into Chapter 2, Season 6 with high hopes.
So things are looking fantastic for Clicks, Booga, and Bizzle.
The plan was simple. They would land Sweaty Sands, take what worked for their 5th place, and improve on it, en route to winning their first FNCS. Simple as that. None of them had won an FNCS yet, so it was time. But there was just one issue.
What?
They were contested off spawn. Gabe, Sprite, and Tahi, who landed Sweaty Sands in the past, came back to try and claim it. In Week 1, a lot was made of this off-spawn beef. Gabe, Tahi, Sprite dominated, and Booga, Bizzle, Clicks came in 29th. Week 2 was more of the same. They were dominated again.
Basically, the situation was you had Clicks, Bizzle, and Booga contesting Gabe, Tahi, and Sprite at Sweaty Sands. It's no shock to any of you that things didn't go too fantastically because they just haven't really been doing the preparation.
This time coming 25th. And then they were placed in the same heat.
Somehow, Clicks, Bizzle, and Booga have gotten into the same heat as Gabe, Tahi, and Sprite.
Neither team was leaving.
If you are consistently losing off spawn 5 out of 6 games in every qualifier, you should probably leave the drop spot. But instead, Clicks, Booga, and Bizzle had big egos about it and just wanted to put their mark on this.
And they were embarrassed again, coming in 32nd out of 33, with Gabe, Tahi, Sprite eking out into the reboot round, and we all know how that went.
No more builds. He's coming up.
Unfortunately for Bizzle, this ended up being Fortnite's most politicized Spawn beef.
Bizzle ended up copying so much hate, he has now gone trending on Twitter again.
And he was trending on Twitter, taking the bulk of the blame. It was unfair and honestly got out of hand. And later, Bizzle mentioned it caused him to drastically scale back on social media. Overall, it was a bad situation, and from this point on, Bizzle's career had shifted. For Season 7, he split with Booga and Clix.
When it comes down to Clix, Bizzle, and Booga, quite a few people saw this coming. They didn't have the best FNCS, they didn't make finals, they did make top 5 the season before though, but again, if you watch them play this season, a lot of people were kind of saying they weren't having too much fun together.
And he was still performing well, but his days of competing for championships had passed. He made grands in Season 7, coming in 19th, and then not again until Chapter 3, Season 2 with Diego Plays, coming in 46th. Next, qualifying for Major 1 in Chapter 4 with Blake.
Holy, Blake and Bizzle, 290 points.
Placing 35th. He played in DreamHack Dallas, Zero Build Land, barely missing out for qualification for the Gamers 8 in Saudi Arabia, and then playing in Red Bull Contested Solo Land. But later in the summer, on August 3rd, he would announce he would retire from competing in Fortnite. And just like that, Fortnite's longest serving veteran and one of the game's greatest players had retired, ending his career with 661,000 in earnings and an insane array of accomplishments. He cemented himself as the last true link between the first era of Fortnite and the current one. James Cameron once said, "If you set your goals ridiculously high, it's a failure. You will fail above everyone else's success." So we would like to thank Bizzle for 5 years of striving for greatness. Thank you, bro. If you enjoyed this video, check out our others, like and subscribe.